Please subscribe.
For a company with such a rich history in Australia, Holden sure is a lot like Europe. It means many different things to many different people. There are fans that bleed the lion red and will defend the brand's contribution to the local automotive landscape until their very last breath. Then there are those who have developed a taste for new flavors and filed their Holden experiences alongside memories of a misspent youth. It's a very broad spectrum. Unique is the best way to describe Holden's place in Australia. At some point, most locals would have had some contact with the brand. Is it mathematically possible to live here and not have driven, or at least ridden in, a Commodore? Over the past decade, Holden has somewhat lost its way. So much of its culture and identity is tied up in the Commodore to the point that the rest of its range felt like an afterthought. With the end of local vehicle manufacturing, Holden is in search of a new identity and trying to reconnect with motorists who have left the brand behind. 2018 looms as the most important year in Holden's decorated history. There is a great deal hanging on the launch of the all-new imported Commodore. Now credit where credit is due, the brains trust at Holden realize that pushing all the chips to the center of the table and letting its fate rest on the shoulders of one model is a gamble that's unlikely to see a positive result. Over the past 18 months, Holden has focused on strengthening its portfolio by deploying improved models into key segments. The arrival of fresh metal has changed the look and feel of its showrooms. One such model is the 2018 Holden Astra Sedan, a car looking to land a few blows in a category owned by Asian rivals. It also takes up space in the forecourt once occupied by the Cruise. Although the Astra name will be familiar to many, name recognition is the only relationship this new model shares with previous generations. Our test car is the LT trim level. This is where the smart money is. The LT is listed as $25,790 plus the obligatory on-roads, which is the midpoint of the Astra Sedan's pricing spectrum. Despite the mid-range pricing, the LT is loaded with equipment. Heated wing mirrors, 17-inch alloys, rain-sensing wiper, keyless entry and start, park assist and automatic headlights are all standard inclusions. There's also an intuitive 8.0-inch infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone connectivity, digital radio and a very accurate satellite navigation system. The LT is a well-equipped car. There is only one feature that's conspicuously absent. Strangely, the Astra Sedan has a comprehensive safety package, yet it misses out on autonomous emergency braking. For a car designed in North America, the styling of the Astra Sedan takes a conservative approach. The exterior is missing the obnoxious attention-seeking grille and slabs of unnecessary chrome that are traditional hallmarks of American automotive design. Rather than a brash look at the exterior, the Astra Sedan is understated with a subtle elegance. The only thing that detracts from the clean styling is the old-looking antenna. A shark fin would be a much better choice in keeping with the overall aesthetic. It would be remiss of me not to mention the key. It feels substantial with a great look. It's significantly better than some of the keys from premium brands. Upon entering the cabin, occupants are greeted by a thoughtful layout with some nice styling elements to add a bit of character. The curvature on the top of the dash, for instance, is a different approach to the usual horizontal lines found in the majority of cars. Interior packaging is one of the Astra Sedan's greatest assets. There's an abundance of space. Rear legroom is excellent even with tall people riding up front. The boot is also cavernous and has an official capacity of 445 liters. With so much space to work with, the interior storage options are very limited. There is no real room to store phones and other incidentals which are so commonly required in a contemporary lifestyle. The storage compartment under the center armrest would struggle to hold more than an empty wallet. Unfortunately, the interior materials feel a long way off the pace. The majority of surfaces are covered in rock-hard plastic from another era, possible one where Fred Flintstone would feel at home. There's some fabric slapped on the dash and door cards to dress things up a bit, but the look and feel again fall short. The fabric covering the seats lifts the standard, but the steering wheel is the highlight. It's covered in soft leather and is lovely to touch. Most of the controls are well positioned, however, the audio buttons located at the back of the steering wheel are a nuisance. The lack of chrome on the outside is well compensated for on the inside. There is far too much chrome garnish throughout the interior. The chrome surround that houses the gear selector is blinding if the sun hits it at the right angle. A bit less bling would be more proportionate with the classy exterior. The interior's shortcomings are quickly forgotten when the driving starts. Driving through Melbourne, the Astra's 1.4-litre four-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine delivered plenty of performance. It's a very responsive drivetrain with no noticeable lag. The 6-speed transmission is decisive and smooth with up changes occurring rapidly in the name of economy. The Astra Sedan is a great all-rounder that shines in city and country driving. The levels of comfort and refinement are well above what most buyers would expect. It's a remarkably quiet car even at highway speeds. This is where the Holden has an advantage over its big-selling rivals. After a run up the Hume, we tested the Astra on a dreadful section of coarse chip road and that maintained the serenity. It's such a composed ride aided by local tuning. Holden engineers were tasked with determining the correct suspension calibration for local conditions. The suspension irons out uneven surfaces without fault. Perfectly weighted steering adds to the driving enjoyment. The Astra isn't trying to overplay a sporty angle by adding unnecessary artificial steering resistance. Another interesting aspect of the drive is how precise lane keep assist is. It kicks in quickly to correct the car's line. Throughout the drive, the Astra established itself as a car worthy of genuine consideration if a small sedan is required. Comfort and refinement are not the only aces the Astra Sedan holds. At the conclusion of our test week, we returned a combined consumption figure of 6.4 liters/100 kilometers, which is very close to the official claim figure. On the open road, we returned a very impressive 4.7 liters/100 kilometers. Efficient can be added to the Astra Sedan's list of virtues. Holden offers a very detailed cap price service program. The Astra Sedan requires maintenance every 9 months/15,000 kilometers. The kilometer allowance is spot on, but the time frame of 9 months could surely be extended to 12. Service costs are competitive. The Astra's first 4 visits to the hoist are capped at $249 each. In October, Holden temporarily bolstered its warranty coverage to 7 years. Unfortunately, this offer expired on December 31st, meaning all Holden models have reverted to the 3-year/100,000 kilometers warranty. Holden should carefully consider making the 7-year offer permanent. Establishing or re-establishing, depending on your perspective, meaningful connections with the car buying public takes longer than 3 months. A long warranty sends a very clear message about the perceived quality of the product in question. A proactive approach is needed to challenge the growing presence of the Korean brands. We are now well and truly anchored in the era of the badge snob, an era where the badge trumps everything else. We all know not to judge a book by its cover, and the same rules should apply to cars. In some circles of society, Holden isn't as desirable as it once was. To truly appreciate the Astra, egos and preconceived ideas need to be left at the door. This is a car that proves Holden is moving in the right direction. The new Astra Sedan is a very good car and the best small car to wear a Holden badge in some time. It's a car that will pleasantly surprise those who give it an opportunity. In LT guise, the Astra is well featured, comfortable, refined, efficient, and importantly, it's nice to drive. Any potential buyers should insist on a test drive that includes a stint of highway driving. This is where the Astra will change minds. That's what Holden is aiming to do, change minds. Cars like the Astra Sedan will certainly bring some momentum to that process. 2018 Holden Astra LT Sedan specifications. Price from $25,790 plus on-road costs. Engine 1.4-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol-powered 110 kilowatts at 6,500 revolutions per minute to warp 245 Nm at 2,000 to 4,000 revolutions per minute. Transmission 6-speed automatic. Combined fuel consumption 6.1 liters/100 kilometers. Tank capacity 52 liters. Length 4,665 mm with 1,807 mm height. 1,457 mm wheelbase. 2,700 mm performance 0 to 100 kilometers 8.2 seconds. Turning circle 11.9 meters. Curb weight 1,294 kilograms. Service intervals 9 months/15,000 kilometers. Warranty 3 years/100,000 kilometers.